Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to episode 3 of marathon training. So I'm gonna go over a couple of cold weather items that I'm using, some gear I'm using while I'm running, and then just talk to you a little bit about how training's going. So I just started week 8 this week, which feels like I'm starting 2 months into it, which is kind of wild. It feels like I've been running longer, but then also doesn't feel like I've been running that long. One thing I've started doing that I think is super helpful is I got a planner. I'm writing down all my training and then how I'm feeling after training, because specifically yesterday, I actually almost filmed this video yesterday. I had finished my run and it was so bad. It was like the hardest run I've had to date, and not because it was physically challenging as far as like the run was crazy hard workout. My legs just felt like total lead. Like I felt like my legs were just totally dead. I couldn't move them. It was a speed workout. I was supposed to be going fast. I felt like I couldn't move fast. I even felt like I had my arms were fatigued for some reason. It was super weird. But I just wanted to take notes on what's going on. And I don't know if that has to do with my menstrual cycle or anything else like that. So I'm trying to be a little bit more in tune with how I'm feeling. Did I eat enough? Was I dehydrated? Like all these things. Did I sleep enough? All that stuff. So taking better notes on my training. So week 8, I'm still doing 5 days of running a week. I'm up to about 28 miles a week, which when I say it, it doesn't sound like that much, but it's really a lot. One thing that I noticed is this type of training is actually really hard on my body. And I've done so many other different styles of training. And I think that's why it's so individualized. Like some people are really good at aerobic, long endurance type training, and some people are better at short, fast things like me and strength and stuff like that. So I'm definitely noticing that my body is struggling as far as it feels like I'm doing a lot on my body. I'm trying really hard to take care. I've raised up my calories, making sure I'm getting good sleep, staying hydrated, all those things. So far, so good. I haven't seen any adaptations as far as being able to run a faster pace. But like I said, week 8 is really not that long to be training running specifically. And I think there's still time for me to improve in that realm. So started taking notes on my runs, and that's been helpful. I actually wrote under yesterday, felt terrible in all caps, just to give you a description of how bad it was. So some of the gear and things I'm using, I know people have requested some cold weather gear, the stuff that I'm using that I think has been helpful. So I'm gonna start with just simple things I use every day. So I have a Garmin Fenix 5S watch. I've had it for over 2 years, no issues. I love it. It tracks so many things. It tracks my sleep. It tracks my menstrual cycle. I can input workouts before I go do them, which I can do a video showing y'all how to do that. So when I have a time workout or something, my watch will run it. So I can run just on the clock of my watch. That's super nice. And I connect it to, I've got the Garmin heart rate monitor. I want to have a good, as accurate as I can, representation of my heart rate. So I think the heart rate monitor really helps with that. Obviously the watches aren't as accurate as they can be because they're sitting on our wrist while we're running, where the heart rate monitor is going around our chest. So that's one thing that I use. I get made fun of for using this, but I like to run with my phone. So I have this old school just arm strap where I can put my phone on it. And I think I got this off Amazon for $5 or $10, something super cheap, and it's lasted and been great. So for cold weather stuff, I love wearing gloves. I think when my hands and feet are warm, it makes a huge difference when I'm out running. So you don't need any sort of specific type of gloves. I have these Carhartt gloves. I think they're supposed to be like texting gloves. They have this weird finger thing on them. But obviously I'm not texting when I'm running or anything, but I like having my fingers free. So instead of mittens or something, and if I get really hot, I can take these off. But for some reason, my hands, having them warm makes a huge difference. And similar to that, having good socks has been huge. So I love wearing Swiftfoot socks. I've worn them for so long, and they're such good quality socks. They stay on your feet. They're sweat wicking. They keep you warm. So I always wear high socks when it's cold. And that's helpful with the leggings. And then covering my head, just a standard beanie, has been great help keeping my head warm. So hands, feet, and head. If my hands, feet, and head are warm, I feel pretty good. So those are the biggest things as far as staying warm. I prefer a beanie over a headband or ear warmer personally, because I never thought about wearing a beanie, but I just didn't have like a headband. I always just imagined myself running with like a warm headband thing. But the beanie, I like the top of my head being warm. I think that makes a difference when I'm running and the wind's hitting the top of my head and I have a beanie on. Whether that's placebo or not, I don't know, but it works for me. So that's another warm weather thing. I'm wearing actually right now just a thin under layer, which I'm gonna say I'm always cold, but in the wintertime, I'm pretty much one of those people who's always cold. So I like being layered up. And I prefer to be warmer than to be colder. So I love doing like a thin layer. This is like a thin old school Lulu long sleeve, but anything would work. Anything that's like a thin type thermal thing under a sweatshirt or something is usually what I run in, as well as just regular leggings. So any brand really of leggings. I don't have fleece lined leggings or anything, and I haven't had any issue so far. And I ran in like, I think it was 28 degrees or something, and I felt pretty good. So another thing I noticed, I commented about this on my Instagram, was when you're running and it's like 30 degrees and sunny is way different than running when it's like 30 degrees and cloudy. I had one day where I ran and it was in the 30s and it was overcast and I felt just so cold the whole time. There's something about the sun being out that makes it better. So this, I have only had to use a couple times when it's really cold. It's actually like a neck gaiter, and this will keep you so warm. I've noticed that even on freezing days when it's 30 degrees, this neck gaiter makes a huge difference. So I've only had to use it. Two of the runs I went out on, I actually took it off in the middle of it because it really was keeping me so warm. I was like, okay, I'm feeling claustrophobic. It is so warm. So this has made a huge difference. I just got this at REI. I think it was like $10 or $15, and I'm sure you could find it anywhere, just something similar. It has like a fleece lining on the inside. And so this has been a game changer with keeping you warm if you're trying to stay warm. All right, so the last thing I got for my longer runs is a Salomon running vest. So this thing's pretty sick. And as you can see, the tags are still on it. I got it on sale. I was pumped. I got it for $60, which originally it looks like it's $110, but it's got these two water containers in the front, which I love, that you can just lean down and sip some water as I get into these longer runs. I know I'm going to be needing to get water and more fuel that I have been so far. It's also got a couple of pockets on the front, this like stretchy cord that connects, you probably can't see, but it connects here. And then it's got a bag on the back right here, which is, you can fit so much stuff. If I needed to put an extra layer in there, put an extra layer in there, which is really nice to be able to carry some more stuff, take some stuff off. I actually did my last couple 8 miles. I've been practicing with some chews inside, or during the run, in the middle of the run. And I don't mind chewing them because they taste great, but it makes me feel like, one, I can't breathe when I'm chewing, which I thought was kind of funny. I have to like, take a couple bites and then breathe, and then take a couple bites and breathe. But I didn't have, the first time I ran with them, I had this sweatshirt on that had like a little pocket up here. And so I just tucked them in there, wrapped in a little bit of paper towel. And this next time I didn't have a pocket, so I was like, I'll just throw them in my sports bra. That was a huge mistake. They're like these sticky chews. This is disgusting. They had soaked through the paper towel, and it was like all sticky when I pulled them out. Like there's just like the paper towel was soaked through stickiness, and then I was just like, I just ate them at the run at that point in the run because they were so gross. I'm like, I don't know what to do with these. And then I had to put the sticky paper towel just back where it was because I wasn't going to just like leave it on the ground. But so I'm excited to be able to carry shoes and things in this Salomon vest. And I got a brighter color just to kind of stand out. I'm just trying to stand out when I'm running. No matter what, just stand out. So I'm trying to think. That's the biggest things, the biggest gear and things I've been using as far as running. Definitely having some hard days as far as getting myself out the door. I think just the repetitive nature of doing it 5 days a week is really challenging. Like it's the same thing every day. And I think that's great for me mentally because it's good to challenge yourself and to be uncomfortable. And I know I'm going to show up and get out there, but that is probably going to be, I'm going to have some days where I'd rather not go out. I'd rather do something a little bit different. One thing I will say is when I start running, my body like knows what's going on. Now it's like, oh, we're running, which I think is a really cool feeling. As before, like I said, I think on the last episode, I think the barrier to entry for running is high. Like the first couple weeks, my body felt terrible. My knees were killing me. My feet was killing me. I felt just super sluggish and slow on my feet. I got stomach aches all the time, like the first few weeks when I was running. And it made me just think about if someone was just starting jumping into running, they might be kind of a little bit turned off by running in the beginning. And now being like 8 weeks in, yeah, I'm not like loving going out every time. But when I start running, my body for the most part is like, okay, I know what we're doing. We've done this a billion times. We're going to go again and we've got this. And it's a better feeling. And my stomach aches have, completely subsided. So yeah, things are going great. Eating more calories, trying to stay super hydrated, taking better notes on what's going on, how I'm feeling. And so hopefully I can see a little bit more progress in my training and running. If you guys have any other questions as far as training's going, let me know. I'm still mixing in strength workouts. I'm going to drop a strength workout in the comments for you guys to get after if you need one, a full body one. And yeah, just trying as best I can to stay healthy. I had a request to go over my pre-running routine. So my next video will probably be a little more interactive. I'm going to take you through all my foot exercises and stretches that I do before I go out for a run. So thanks you guys for being here and let me know what else you want to see.